Sitting from Atlanta, Georgia. My wife is Jen. She's at home. But today, I'd like to share with you my journey with Retriever. And since I began here, the confidence that's happened, and hopefully the confidence that will actually happen with you guys. Because I hope that confidence can bleed off to you, because I tell you, it works. But my journey actually started years before in 2015. This is when I set sail to come, I wanted to become a part of a network marketing company that's located in Phoenix called Isogenics. Everybody's heard it. By the way, the order form is going to be coming around a little bit later. But anyway, I was sold. I was all in. Unlimited supply of residual income. I buried my heart into it. Buried it. I made their protein with my soccer career. They put that on my chest, and I was ready to go. All for 3 years of making 35 to 50 grand a year. So it was 2017, and most of you know that I do have a brother in the business. His name's Mitch. And Mitch has had a lot of success. Mitch is not here, but he'll be with us soon, I hope. But Mitch and I used to frequently talk on the phone. I'm building this network marketing career, and Mitch is over here building Retriever, and we're like, Mitch would be like, dude, you need to talk to my guy, Rich. This guy, Rich Norton. I'm like, no, man, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to talk to my guy, Jay. And we went back and forth as brothers do, But it just went back and forth. I'm like, no, I don't need to talk to Rich. Why would I want to do that? I got Jay, right? Jay has got my ticket, right? So it was kind of funny, but it was the fall of 2017 that I found myself, after trying to build this network marketing career, that I was in my basement, my sweatpants, was depressed. I wasn't happy. I made 35 grand that year. I made 42,000 the year before that. And I had all these high classifications. I was on the soccer team there at corporate, and all this recognition, all this bullshit. All for that amount. I was seriously depressed. But anyway, my father flew from Salt Lake City to Atlanta, Georgia, for Thanksgiving with my brother Mitch. My dad returns, he comes back. Has anybody ever had a talk with their dad before? He gives you that sit the hell down talk, right? Well, anyway, my dad sat me down and said, you need to listen to your brother about this company called Retriever Merchant Solutions. And I was asking God for guidance at this point. I couldn't find it. All I kept hearing was Mitch says, you need to talk to Rich. Maybe Rich is the next thing to God. It's very possible now, that's what I believe, okay? But anyway, that's all I could hear. But even I kept hearing that, it still wasn't enough. So I decided Christmas 2017, I decided to go to Mitch's back office. I saw these residuals. I saw Mitch was out doing life like 10, 15 times as much as I was. I couldn't believe what I saw. So then I agreed to talk with Rich Norton. And that's where my journey begins. So, 2018, I got a call from the office, they give me a rep ID number. I got this trainer named Sean Benson. I'm like, this guy's Sean, right? But then I was informed that I was going to be flying to the office, and that I was going to do some training there in, the board room, and then I was going to fly to Atlanta. So I did my training, but I remember sitting in the boardroom. There were two other guys that are in this room right now that were in that boardroom with me, and Dave Figley did the training. Dave leaned over the desk and he said, there are two guys in this room that are going to do this. And Kevin Faulkner and I locked eyes from across that table. Remember that, Kevin? Yeah, now Tom also made it with us. I don't know where Tom is, but he's here somewhere. But I will never forget that, because I wanted to be one of those guys. So anyway, I left training, I came back. I lollygagged around a little bit. I trained with Sean for weeks, and then on March 1st, I let my worst failure go, and I decided to never look back. This was my home. Yes. On March 2018, I went and did a lot of low-hanging fruit deals. My friends, the neighbors, blah, blah, blah. Man, I'm like, hey, Sean, this is a piece of cake. I got this. Until maybe in April, I started to do some more deals, and a merchant looks at me and he's like, Oh, it's one of you guys. You're shady. However, I'll give you 5 minutes. And I'm like, what's up with this, right? So I didn't know the industry was like that. I really didn't, because I've been brand new to the industry as of March 1st. I called Sean and he said, look, the next time you walk in the door, tell him, look, I don't need your 5 minutes, I'll give you 2, then you can tell me to stay or leave. These are tools that I sharpened throughout the years. And it's because of one-liners that happen like this. So, fast forward to the summer of 2018, Rich Norton puts out this Norton 9 trip, and I'm thinking here, man, competition time, so I love competition, right? But I thought there's no way I can compete with these veterans. Sorry, I'm just on the phone up here. Like with these veterans, Dan wasn't there that day, but Frank, Sean, Rich, Ricardo, Tony Maria, Bob, Saunders, the Ursos, and my brother Mitch, they're all in this pool at the Serenata Beach Club, giving me some advice of how to make my business grow. Frank and Tony were pounding cash discount in my brain. I'm in this pool, which I now call the Fountain of Wealth. Yes. You guys can ever make it to this pool, it's definitely called the Fountain of Wealth. And cash discount, whenever I left there, because obviously, so once I made the trip, that was the fall. And then in about 6 more months when I launched 2019, but I was sharpening some skills. Along the way, I was making failures. So in 2019, I kept launching and testing and sharpening, and by then I was ready to launch my career in 2019, which I knew cash discount was a lot of it. By the way, if you're not doing cash discount when you're new, you need to do it and you need to start it now. It's real. It's real, and it is so cool. Second year, I learned how to build relationships with the office, with my LGs, with my friends, with people on other teams like Dangston. I started leveraging because I wanted advice. I was a sponge for information. I also learned that I just didn't want to sell my customers. So I learned customer service. I just didn't want to give them a machine. I found a way to give them what they wanted, and then I found a way to keep it. Because my biggest success is right there. As my worst failure is driving me. And then, I wanted to care for people in their businesses. I wanted to care for them as I wanted them to care for me. And that became my brand. And that is my brand. And it will always be my brand. And Sean always told me if I have this philosophy, that the referrals will come in time. A lot of stuff will come in time. And you were right with pretty much everyone 100% of the time. I just took the time to listen in. Biggest learning experience yet, I'd have to say, is just protecting my business, is watching myself being consistent and watching myself grow. And by the end of 2019, again, I knew that this was my stage, this was my platform that I could win on. Sean, Rich, this is being my World Cup that I never made it to. So 2020 arrives, and I am ready to go, and it's a shit show, right? We all did some deals. Listen, I was at a point in April where I was thinking, I'm going to sell toilet paper because I can make $1 million if I can find a supplier, right? So, but when the Rona arrived, it just got a little weird. We all did a bunch of deals, April, May, a little bit of deals actually. But after sitting around and playing too much golf, called Rich Norton. Rich told me how to do the handshake, take the mask down, and start smiling. And I was ready. I had to get out of my body. I was in my house too much, and I was golfing way too much. But that's all behind us now. June 1st, I launched it. I went at it. My plan is to follow Rich's trail the whole time. If Rich is doing 30 deals, I'm doing 30 deals. I'll figure it out. So we've learned how to work during the pandemic, and we can do that again in 21. It is 21. It's 2021. And it's time to go home, and it's time to get this done. So 21 is going to be a great time for you, and I'll tell you, everybody in this room, it's going to be a blackjack year for all of us. Go find your blackjack, because it's that year. And yes, you guys are wondering, I did get on a plane just to fly to Orlando to go to the doctor and rent a car and drive home. That actually happened. So, My confidence has been very strong. My why, even stronger. It's what makes me do this. The freedom. Danny talks about freedom. Chuck talks about being different. I'm different. That weird sucks. I walk in a door and I do this because people are like, hey, icebreaker. Works every time. Get some funky socks. It works. It lifts your pants up, right? So, through the years, I'd have to say the most consistent thing again is just my confidence, my why, my family, my failure. I want us to thank some people. You account managers are amazing. SR is amazing. Deployment, training department, office staff, upper management, Beth and Mike. Thanks for getting us around the world. I mean, thank you, right? You guys have all been an integral part to my journey. And most importantly, all you veterans, Brian and Rich, you guys paved the way for me to be on this asphalt that I run on today. And if you veterans didn't pave that way for Brian, I'd never be here right now. And I thank you a lot. Sean Benson, actually, my brother Mitch. Thank you, Mitch. I know he's not here. Sean, you're my ambassador at Quan. I just love you so much. This is to the class of 2020, to the class of 2021. This is a quote that's been with me for decades. So I'm going to pass this on to you, and I hope that you can understand what it means. But I encourage you all to believe in God, accept His love. I want you to step out of your comfort zone, try new things, keep dreaming, and never settle for second best. I want to thank you all. My name is Mark Torbett. I'm in the class of 19.
Good work. I love it. Here to close, one more presentation and a great summit. He's going to bring us home. Who better? Richmond.
Don't start right away. Let me fix first. I got this up here yet. Let me just. Just let me get. Don't start yet. I gotta get.
We're not going to lose our